hit it. Microphone check. Baby, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
you are now rocking with the best.
It's not some
baby. One time,
still shining.
respect my swag.
It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
and this is
Another episode.
a Swingers
After dark. What time is it? It's time to get live.
and this is your host. Not some baby.
Let's go, champ.
Microphone check 1 2 1 2. This is your host, not son, baby, and this is another episode of Swingers After Dark, and I'm with my man Qaudirr. You know what I'm saying? Where you from? I don't want to say the wrong city because you know dudes they catch feelings when I do that. What city you from?
I'm from North Philly.
See, I don't even know. I just know about Broad and Erie. You know, Max's and Max cheese steaks, and
Yeah.
and what's that? There, the bookstore, Black and Nobel, Black and Nobel.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Black and Nobel. They moved to West Philly though. You know
Yeah, they out west now.
Yeah, they not in North Philly, but I always go to North Philly. You know, I don't go south. I go a little bit of west, you know, because of around the Overbrook area. But mainly,
Right.
I be in North Philly. What's up with the size? Because in Chicago, it's kind of like the same thing. Like the sides don't really fuck with each other.
Yeah. Like when you just asked me where I'm from, I don't say Philly. I say North Philly. You know, and you know, people I run into people different places and they be like, yo, where you from? I'll be like, North Philly. They be like, why you just don't say Philly? I was like, because I'm not from Philly. I'm from North Philly. You know what I mean? So
it's kind of like New York dudes. You know what I'm saying? They don't be like I'm from New York. They be like I'm from Brooklyn. You know,
Right.
I'm from Queens.
Right.
I'm from the Bronx. I'm from Harlem. They don't say I'm from New York City. I'm from New York. Nah, they get specific.
yeah, you gotta get specific on that shit because like people just be, you know, a real North Philly dude is always gonna tell the people like, yeah, I'm from North. You know what I mean? Then, you know, South Philly, West Philly, they say what they say, but anybody from North, you already gonna hear that. I'm from North. And you don't hear the TH. They say NORF. North.
Yo, you know, we gotta clear the air, Qaudirr. You know, I gotta get at you about something. We gotta clear the air right now.
Let's go.
We gotta clear the air right now. You know, I was surprised that you hit me up in the inbox because I didn't think you fucked with me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think you fucked with me because I was roommates with a chick who you were dealing with at the time. So for some reason, I didn't think that you was fucking with me because I had a conversation with you. We had a conversation in a ballroom, and you know, I sometimes I overthink things, but I don't let it get in the way of how I feel about people. I may, you know, be seeing things. You know, I may be having illusions or some shit. So we were sitting down and we was having a conversation, and it's like you abruptly ended the conversation. You got up and left. You didn't say, oh, you know, I'm gonna holler at you later. I got somewhere to go. So I was thinking, I was trying to put 2 and 2 together, and I got 4. Well, apparently 2 plus 2 was 5 for my equation because evidently you do fuck with me to a degree because you hit me up saying you want to get on my, you know, my platform. So I always thought that you didn't fuck with me because you got up and you just left the conversation.
You know what? You know what? Honestly talking, man, we didn't see each other probably at least about 4 or 5 times, maybe more. Myself personally, I never hold anything personal against nobody unless I tell them. I never even knew that you thought like that. Maybe I know my mind, when I'm in the atmosphere, my mind's be on swivel, not my head, my mind. So if I got up and just breathed, I didn't do it intentionally to disrespect nobody or disrespect you. I just be on move mode. You know what I mean? Because I might have seen something, or I know what day you talking about, and I'm getting familiar with it. And you know what? And come to think about it, I think my mind was set on seeing something that was a situation that was going on.
Yeah,
and I didn't really have a chance to be like, yo, hold up, let me holler at you, because I don't like putting people on this certain things. You know, we from the streets, regardless we in this lifestyle, we from the street. So if I say something, I know that lead to us going instead of me just going.
Yeah, it was in South Jersey. That's why I thought that it was over Shorty, because y'all had y'all differences that night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I thought I got caught in the crossfire. I thought it was like,
what it was is, Shorty, you checked in. I met you at the door. I brung you to the room. There's no way in the world that you hit me up at 3:00 in the morning after I walked you in at 3:00 in the afternoon. So my thing is like, listen, hold on, we poly, but at the end of the day, show me my respect. I don't care what you do, have your fun, run around, but show me my respect. You're not gonna hit me up 3:00 in the morning and talk about something. I want to come see you. Wait a minute, I checked you in at 3. It's 3:00 in the morning, boo. Mm-hmm. Like, nah, go ahead. You might as well stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was trying to make it seem like I was mad because you was in the room with Wade. I was like, nah, he cool. Man, get the fuck out of here. Matter of fact, I even tried to come down to the room and knock on the door, because when she said it, I thought I heard you in the background, but I heard other people in the background. So I tried to come down there and knock on the door. Ain't nobody answered, because I wanted to make that clear. Like, hold up. Don't try to put me on blast like I'm tipping over my man. You know what I mean? And that wasn't never really the case, man. Like,
I just want to apologize for thinking that, because the reason why I thought that, because a lot of dudes in the lifestyle, they catch feelings over women. You know what I'm saying? And instead of them piecing it up and having a man to man, they would rather be passive aggressive about it. So that's why I wanted to bring it to the forefront, so people could see, like the audience could see that we can have a man to man, a man talk, and instead of having a boo-ha-ha and throwing tantrums and shit. Because prisons and cemeteries are filled with dudes who went to war over women. Even countries, you got whole countries going to war over women. So that's why.
I said, and they started a whole war. And you right, but it was never. I swear to God on everything I love, bro. I never even had no ill feelings towards you. I never, nothing. Like, I understand where you getting at, but with that situation, no. Give me something else.
I'm like, damn, my man want all the women. Ladies and gentlemen, Qaudirr, he's shorter than me, but he get more women than me. So for all you cats who complain about you don't get women because of your height, nah, we can't do that, because Qaudirr, he got a flock. So when you abruptly ended the conversation, I'm like, damn, save some for me. You know what I'm saying? I like save some of the ladies for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like you getting all the ladies.
Man, I just you know what, man? It's funny that you just said that, because me and Romero was just talking about that.
My man from Texas. Well, he's from Detroit. Romero from Detroit. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he out in Tennessee right now. So he was like, man, he be like, yo, you be moving out. I be like, yo, you be moving out. He like, nah. He was like, yo, these chicks be on the airwaves, and they be talking. I be listening. I was like, yo, the only thing I do, man, I already know I got a disadvantage, so I got to move like I'm a giant, man.
Yeah, I don't even see no disadvantage. And the reason why I bring it up, because a lot of dudes, they feel like if you're not a certain height, you're not going to get the appeal from women, but you don't have a problem with that. Why you think that you don't have a problem with attracting women regardless of you not being over 6 feet?
I got confidence and I'm secure. I definitely come with confidence. I come with security, and I like to talk shit, but I always like to back my shit up. See, that's the thing about this lifestyle. See, these guys that get in these inboxes and they'll flirt all the way up into the event, and you know, and y'all it be a disappointment. Like, nah, don't just get that woman that experience that you was talking all that good shit in that inbox. You know what I mean? And I like to, you know, credit my report card that shit, I do what I need to do. Listen, if a nigga fuck better, I'm gonna eat the pussy better. The nigga can't, you know what I mean? I'm straight up and direct about who I am. I go in, I make sure that whatever I do or whatever woman that I'm entertaining, that I don't give her no half-ass treatment because I'm thirsty to go run after something else. So my confidence speaks for itself. And
it's about swag and having that pizzazz.
Yeah, it's definitely about having that. But you can have all the swag, but it still be insecure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you step out, it's like, yeah, everybody might be running around with $500 outfit and, you know, $300 shoes and all that stuff, and you stepping out with a pair of jeans and t-shirt, and it's my confidence. I don't care. Like, that's what they wearing, you know, to catch you. I'm coming. I'm like, I'm speaking, and I mean, and I'm doing it respectful. Because one thing I always do, I respect anybody. I always ask it. My first line of questions is, who you here with? What's your name? And we go from there. You know what I mean? If you here with somebody, what's his name? Who? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I know who you talking about. I didn't know that. I didn't know y'all was together. And I slide off. Like, you know, I'm gonna see you again.
Yeah, you know, I just want to say I'm glad that we cleared the air. And that's one of the reasons why, you know, a lot of people say they're poly and they're open. We're gonna touch on polyamory after I say this. You know, a lot of people say they're poly and they're open, but at swing parties, if I know you're in a relationship, I'm not fucking with you, because you may say one thing, but your partner may say another thing. You know what I'm saying? You may say a chick may say, "Oh, you know, he's cool with it. He's cool with us being roommates." But it was kind of weird when I was like, it was kind of weird when I told Shorty we had 2 beds. You know what I'm saying? So when I get 2 beds at a hotel party, it's like 1 bed for fucking and 1 bed for us to sleep together. And I was like, yeah, this bed is for fucking and this bed is for us to sleep together. And you were there when I said that. And she was like, what are you talking about? This is your bed and this is my bed. So it was kind of like it was like a wah, 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 wah.
You know what it was? Man, listen, man. One thing.
Like, oh shit. Keep going, my bad.
It's you know what it is? When people is being put on the spot, they want to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And when you say something, you have to. First of all, if I tell you something, I gotta follow through with it. I'm not gonna play stupid in front of other people because, you know, this is what we agreed to.
Mm-hmm.
So she already told me. She already told me what it was. She was like, "Oh yeah, you know, we gonna be in a room together, this, that, and the third, and you know, we got 2 beds, but I know we play on 1 bed." She was like, "I usually just play on 1 bed and, you know, sleep in the other bed." I was like, right. I said, yo, that's by law. Mostly everybody do that.
Okay.
So when you said it and I was sitting there sipping, I laughed.
Mm-hmm.
Because I already knew, like, regardless of what you said, man, you saying one thing and I know how it's gonna go. So I didn't really have a problem with it. The only thing I told her was, listen, have fun, enjoy yourself. If you doing something that makes you feel uncomfortable, this is my room number, come up here. You know what I mean? You can park your ass in here because I'm gonna be everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And after that, it was just, you know, it was blank. So I didn't really care.
Okay. So when you're in polyamorous relationships, it's like, do you often have these talks? Like Okay, I'm with my wait. Before we get to that, it seemed like that the situation had a hierarchy, and a lot of people in polyamory they don't like hierarchies. You know what I'm saying? That's like the devil to them. So,
Right.
is your polyamory, your polyamorous dynamics? Do they have a hierarchy, or everybody's the wife and everybody's the girlfriend?
It depends on it depends on the person. If I'm dealing with a person, because if I'm dealing with a person that I know that I have to give that proper respect, that authority to, and I tell her she's my poly queen and everybody else is my poly girlfriend, then once I separate the two, I'm already giving you that hierarchy. You know what I mean? If I call her queen and I call you my girlfriend, then I'm saying it verbally. You know what I mean? And it's already in forth, because I look for my poly queen to do more and be more active of everything else. Just like when she got there, she was my girlfriend. She was my poly girlfriend. My poly queen didn't show up because her plane landed late and she didn't want to come late because she knew that, them late hours, motherfuckers ain't doing no highs. She like, hey, motherfucker, she was like, listen, I ain't coming in there and be a piece of meat. She's like, the motherfuckers ain't gonna want to socialize. Everybody in fuck mode. So I was like, yeah, you right. But them two got into it over the phone because, that girl just so happened to be an empath, and she felt the energy like, yo, he ain't see you. You know what I mean? You checked in with him at 3. Bitches, it's 10 o'clock. You still ain't go through there? You ain't still go get the food? She like, yo, you ain't go get the stuff that we left you and all that stuff. Like, it was a whole lot of stuff that my poly queen made sure that she had, because she was coming with so much stuff, and we was making sure that she had some bread. But you ain't never come past the room, so why would you be privileged to any of that?
Yeah, I didn't take it personal, because I peeped the situation, during the event. You know what I'm saying? So I just chalked it up as, all right, they going through their issues, but like I said, when we were in the ballroom and you ended the conversation, when you abruptly ended the conversation, I just thought that I was in the crossfire. And not for nothing, man, I fucked with you even after that, because I like how you move. So it was like the weight of the world was lifted off my shoulders when you inboxed me about appearing on my show, because I'm like, okay, he don't fuck with me. It's like, whatever. I didn't have any animosity towards you, because I'm like, whatever, life is too short. So I just want to tell you that I'm glad that you hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I always liked your style and your swag. So I'm saying that publicly, right. Because a lot of people need to hear another man showing love to his fellow man, because that doesn't happen a lot.
And I definitely apologize if I gave you that notion, because that's not me. I'm straightforward. I like to have more friends than enemies. You know what I mean? And I already know the people who don't like me for this confidence, this swag, as everybody calling it, this personality. Because my personality is what it is. I don't side with no bullshit. I'm straight up. You know what I mean? And like I said, I deal with people who is lifestylists. Like, people don't understand. I said, listen, I'm not in the lifestyle. I am a lifestyler. This is my life. You know what I mean? I live this 24/7. Y'all people, some of y'all people just want to live it for the weekend and then try to go back to reality on Monday.
And you're not lying. You know what? Why I fucks with you, because you always promote your man's fashion line. Right. K-Red. I interviewed K-Red, for season 2, and you always pump them up. You know what I'm saying? You always show love to your homies. You know what I'm saying? Right. You even now, if people could see, the Zoom video, you're having his brand, you're having his stock. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you represent on your page, and you representing now. And with that said, how you build a rapport with people from other regions, because you're in Philly, but I saw you in the Midwest. I saw you in Indianapolis. And it seems like you cool with a lot of cats from different parts of the country. How do you build that rapport without any hate or competition or animosity or jealousy or envy?
I know how to speak to men. I know how to introduce myself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna keep walking past you and don't say something funny or say something, you know what I mean? Like, if you standing up, like when I seen you up in Indianapolis and you had your hat on and everything, you had your suit, you was looking fly, and a girl walked past. Even though we didn't know each other, we both looked at each other and I was like, yeah. And that built a conversation right there. You know what I mean? And that's how I do. Even when I went out Kansas City for the first time, big ups to the to Kyle and her group out there in Kansas City. When I went out there, and she was like, you know, you all the way from the East Coast, you coming out here, you by yourself and this, that. I'm like, I'm gonna be fine. And that's what I was. When I went out there, I was talking to the brothers. I was letting them know, you know, we all the same. Just because we from different regions, we all the same, bro. So you know, they liked me. They was like, yo, we want you to come back. And that's what I try to give off, man. I just try to make sure that wherever I go, I'm not hostile. If I disrespect anybody, I like to go and talk to them. You know what I mean? And let people know, like, yo, I'm a real dude. I sit down. You know what I mean? I don't side with bullshit. I don't care if you don't like me or not, but I don't side with bullshit. It's either it's right or it's wrong. And I'm gonna say that, you know, say it like that. I'm never gonna leave myself neutral. I never play neutral shit.
What you say?
I said I never leave myself neutral. I never play neutral like, yo, I'm neutrally involved. No, I'm not. You know what I mean? Like a situation happened when I think at Missy King. You was at Missy King event one time.
No, I've never been to Missy's joint.
Wasn't that Missy King?
We only saw each other in Indianapolis and South Jersey. At the club.
You had Dana joint?
Yeah, that's location.
Okay. I think I seen you.
That was Indianapolis. Yeah, it was okay. You had Henny B's joint and you had Dana's joint. You had the Henny B had her joint venture with Clubhouse.
Right.
Yeah, and then you had Dana for Flutcation.
Right.
And then you had a South Jersey. So I saw you three times.
Yeah, it was a situation where as though you know, the New York guys, they come up to the Midwest.
Yeah.
San Diego and all them. And it was a little situation where as though, you know, people was feeling some type of way with, you know, how dudes was moving, and I overheard it. And, you know, one of the people that was in the middle of it, so I stood around, you know, to listen, and I just addressed it like, yo, bros, we all here doing the same thing. We all trying to present ourselves to these women in the best state possible. You know what I mean? So everybody image or of who they is showing, because you have different regions in here. Even if you from Ohio, even if you from Indianapolis, you from New York, you from Jersey, everybody's showing their, you know, they different flavor. You know what I mean? I said, and it's not that people was cocky, because they use the word cocky. I said it's not that people was cocky. It's just that's what their region is about in their city. You know what I mean? And they were just like, but you know, you from down there and you do. I was like, nah, I'm not. I'm cocky, but I said, but I'm humble, because I know how to sit here and deactivate that, because I know it brings a lot of attention. And I had a chance.
They was hating on the East Coast swag, and the Midwest. Right. The Midwest was hating on the swag.
it was something lame. You know what I mean? It ain't like it was. They was grabbing all the girls or something. It was just like, you know, a few guys just kept, you know, seeing them, and they like, damn, they just all over the place. They doing anything. Like, we all doing the same thing. We all over the place.
See, I get a pass because I'm Chicago made, New York raised. No, I'm New York. I'm Chicago raised. Let me get it right before my folks in Illinois get on me. I'm Chicago. I'm Chicago raised, New York made. I'm a Chi Yorker. I'm a Chi Yorker, so I got both sides. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get that. You know, I really don't get that. What's that word I'm looking for? That I don't get the tension, as you say. I don't get the tension, and I don't get certain hostilities. You feel me? But do you think it's kind of cliquish when you go to a new group or to a new setting, because you are all over? And I was like, how you find out about he in Kansas City and Indianapolis? How are you able to navigate regardless of the cliques?
I don't care. I like to break. I like to break, you know, boundaries. You know what I mean? Just because I'm originally from Philadelphia, I didn't went to an event every part of New York City. I didn't went to an event damn near in every city in New Jersey, Baltimore, Atlanta, California. I didn't went all the way to California for an event that happened for 2 days and brung my ass back. I feel like this. I want to show them that we lifestyles. You know what I mean? This is what we do. We are travel. And people would just be like, yo, how you hear about this? Be like, oh, I know her and she introduced me and I bought a ticket and, you know what I mean? Or I spoke to somebody and, you know, who's ever hosting it and they vetted me and said I could come. You know what I mean? They be like, yo, that's cool. Like, you know, and I want to show people like, yo, come on down here. I love what Ohio is doing. They is everywhere now. They is taking, they hold the, what is they call it, the clubhouse? They is coming down to New York, New Jersey, Atlanta. They going everywhere with their lifestyle family.
Wait. I gotta say something. Club, and they get on me when I say this. Clubhouse is from Kentucky. I thought they was from Ohio as well, but like, nah, we from Louisville, Kentucky. So I just wanted to say that because they really don't like when people think that they're an Ohio-based group, even though the majority of their members are from Ohio and they're next door to each other. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that. But I get where you're coming from. But the reason why I asked that question is because, you know, you have people in these groups, they complain about cliques. And you roll dolo, you know, you're a lion, you're not a hyena. You know, you don't need to roll in packs. So it's like, okay, you say that you don't care, but at the same time, it's like a challenge, especially when they don't know you. So it may take some time for people to warm up to you. They want to see how you move first. So how do you get over that frustration if you had that frustration, or not even frustration, how you get over the hump to where people may be hesitant to fuck with you, but they see how you move and they start warming up to you? How do you get to that point where people warm up to you for the dudes or even the chicks who complain about the lifestyle being cliquish?
I really don't pay attention. I see it, I recognize it. I see it and I recognize it, but I'm not here for you guys to worry about, you know what I mean, where I'm from. I'm here for the women. Because regardless of what you think, women is the lifestyle. You know what I mean? So I'm here for the women. This is my entertainment. I'm their entertainment. You know what I mean? So I don't, you know, when I be going to these events and I be by myself and everything, that's how it is. I'm by myself. So if anybody feel like they want to approach me about a matter and I'm in this LS event in this setting, if I don't break no rules in this LS and everything else that's going on, and you're approaching me about some nonsense because you don't like something, then brother, listen, check this out. This event is over on Sunday. I don't want to get thrown out the group. We can handle this.
So it's like, you know, how's the communication between, I don't even want to call them men, because a lot of dudes act like males. And I say males because a male is an underdeveloped version of what a man should be. So do you think a lot of males in a lifestyle are passive aggressive, or they just don't know how to communicate? You know, without having egos and their pride involved.
They definitely don't know how to communicate. They definitely, I think it's more men that have this pride thing when it's somebody that's coming from another city or whatever, you know. And it's a pride thing. I respect it. I respect everything. But one thing, I'm not going to keep you with that same pride, because you're going to have to laugh. You're going to have to smile. You're going to have to give me a head nod. You have to give me a pound. I'm going to do something creative to where as though you're going to be like, yo, that's slick. Even if you're looking at my shoes, you're going to be like, yo, those some nice shoes. Because when I went out there to Kansas City, it wasn't me that gave dudes that disarming tactic. They was looking at my shoe. They was like, yo, those shoes is cold, bro. I was like, man, thank you, man. They was like, where you get them from? And I was putting them on to how they go order it and all this stuff. And that's all I got. And then from the compliment of the shoes, this is how we became friends.
What's the difference between the Midwest scene and the East Coast scene? Me personally, I'm done with the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? It's like I came, I saw, I conquered. Weenie weedy weeky. So what's the difference between the Midwest and the East Coast scene, if there is a difference?
To me, the difference, this is me. It's more, I'm not gonna say, I'm gonna say it. It's more hospitable. It's more like you could tell people know people. It's continuity. It's tangible. Oh, girl, what's up? I ain't see you. You out here I ain't see you in a couple years. Or be a guy be like, yo, Jack, what up, man? I ain't see you since the last drawing that we went down. And I listen to those conversations because they familiar. They talk. They happy to see each other. The difference between New York is, you know, motherfuckers is just like,
they think they too cool for school.
Right. You know what I mean? They act like, you know, you doing too much when you see it do. And that's not the type of person I am. And that's why a lot of guys that see me, they would just be like, yo, your ass here? I'm like, yeah. Because a lot of people don't know, even though I'm in New York, because I live in New York. Even though I'm from Philadelphia, I live in New York. But a lot of people don't know that I live next to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So when
you kind of by Malone, right?
Malone. Malone. I'm on the other side of Malone though, because that's Western New York. That's like Buffalo, Rochester.
Okay.
I'm near like.
Wait. We can't say because you got stalkers. So just say you upstate. You know what I'm saying?
They gonna get lost cutting through these fields.
Yeah, you got the Appalachian Mountains you in the mountains.
Yeah, you know I'm definitely right there around that trail. But yeah, when I come down there, it's definitely East Coast vibe is totally different. You got to be a little bit more aggressive. The women, you got to be a little bit more aggressive. You can't just sit back too cool. You got to go after yours, and that's how it is. Until like when I'm in the Midwest, the women is the aggressive. Mm-hmm. The women is like, yo, what you doing? I was just about to know you now. Come on. God damn. You know what I mean?
How did you find out about the Midwest scene? And even California.
I found out about the Midwest scene when I was in Atlanta. I was down at Queen stuff down there in Atlanta.
He all over. I haven't even been there yet. That's the secret experience.
Right. I was down there. I ran into a couple of ladies that's admins of the clubhouse, and they invited me up. They was like, yo, you need to come up to Fuckcation. And I'm like, yo, where's it at? It was like Indianapolis. I'm like, what the fuck is that, Indianapolis?
I said the same thing. I was like, what's in it? Listen, the Pacers and the Colts and Fuckcation and the Indy 500 and
right.
the Black Expo are the only reasons why people will go to the nap.
That's it.
or else they'll take a nap in the nap.
And when I went up, and listen, this is no lie. When I went up to Indy and I seen the Indy 500, I was a kid. I jumped in there. I got pictures. You know, but and the same thing when I was in Vegas, when I went to the Missy King event in Vegas.
Oh, that was crazy. I'm mad I didn't go. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was, and it wasn't even an event. It was just a meet and greet. And she brought in like 400 people at the Luxor Hotel.
Yeah,
and,
that was crazy.
That's how I met the people from California. I met a couple. We vibed with them. We vibed with them so good. They was just like, hey, here go an invite. We having this. And, you know, I think a couple months later, I went back out there to California. And when I tell you this was cold, I mean, it was cold. It cost me a couple of dollars, but this joint, it was well worth it. You know what I mean? It was well worth it. And, you know, they a good couple and they host.
Were you always the type of person who traveled?
I think the lifestyle gave me like to travel. You know what I mean? Like, I like to go places because I like driving.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm somewhere, look for me because I like driving. I drove all the way to Indianapolis from Jersey.
Was you with Poppy now?
Huh?
Did you drive with Poppy and Wolverine? Did you drive with them?
No, I ain't come with DA and them. I came with my bestie, Peggy.
Wait, see, I'm gonna have to get at you because I was joking. I was joking with Peggy in the inbox because I was like, you know, I'm doing an interview with your bestie because me and Peggy we cool, and I was like, I'm gonna let him know that you're the bestie and I'm the hubby. You know what I'm saying? So we had, so I was like, I'm gonna tell him that we gonna go on here. I'm gonna tell him that. But yeah, Peggy's cool people, yo. You know, yeah, Peggy's cool people.
Yeah, that's my bestie, and me and Peggy, we actually rode up to Indianapolis together.
Yeah, she told me. I was like, yo, you drove all the way up here? She like, yeah, we drove. So, and this was at Flutcation. That's how I met Peggy because she was at another hotel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was in another hotel. Me and her was in the hotel. I got to dealing with a couple of other people, and she was just like, yo, you know, you could bring them back here, this, that, and the third. So I'm like, nah, I told you what I was going to do. I told you if it comes to the point that I got to grab another room, I'm going to grab another room. And that's what I did. Grab another room.
and what's fucked up is that because she was at another hotel, it was hard for me to get an Uber or a Lyft because of the fucking March Madness. You know,
right?
It was hard. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, yo? It took me like an hour and a half to get an Uber to get back to where I was staying.
If I would have knew, or if she would have told me, she don't like telling me, I'd have told you to take the car.
Yeah, it was bananas. But how did you link up with the Kansas City crew?
I linked up with the Kansas City crew. I was doing a live, and the queen, Too Cold, she came on there. She was just, you know, liking what I was saying. And, you know, the next night, I realized that I had an inbox from her. And she was like, listen, I want you to come out here. I like your energy. We need that out here because we dealing with the same old thing. You know, these guys act like they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that. So I just was like, oh yeah, all right, cool. So, and the matter of fact, I told Romero about it. So Romero was like, all right, I'll fly out there with you. So he was coming from one end and I came out another end. And like I said, we went in there, we performed. The host gave us a room. It was like a double-decker room. Gave us a room. So, you know, the party can, you know, go around, but the room that she gave us, me and him shared it because it was a double-decker room. So you already know what happened. We was bring them in, bring them out. That's what it is.
What was it? What is it? What would you say?
Yeah, I said the party was in our room.
What is it about Kenny and Romero that made y'all click? That made you click with them?
I think how we clicked was it was a misunderstanding. When I first met him,
when you say misunderstanding, you talking about Kenny or Romero?
Romero.
Okay.
It was a misunderstanding, right? The sister that I was with, she was on it, but she didn't communicate everything to him. So when I realized what was going on, I spoke to him. I was like, "Listen, bro, you know this is who I am," and made him talk. And he just was like, "Word." I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." By that, the expression on your face, I see that you was, He was like, "Yeah, he was like, listen, I ain't with all no drama." He was like, "But she said she was here with her cousin, which her cousin was with us." So I just was like, I was like, yeah, maybe she probably thought that I even put sugar on the shit. Maybe she thought you probably wouldn't even holler at her because, this, that, and the situation. He was like, yeah, I don't do that. He was like, nah, I'm good. And Kane said the same thing. He was like, damn, you should have just told me that you was here with your dude, not wait till your dude pull up on us.
You're talking about Kane from Dallas.
Yes. And that's how I met them. And like the next day after it happened, we spoke, we hung out, and shit, we stayed connected.
See, that's some man shit. Because the typical motherfucker be like, yo, what the fuck? They want to fight and pull out pistols and, knives and want to throw up their dick beaters. You know what I'm saying? But y'all spoke. It's about communication. A lot of beefs could be squashed or prevented if people just talk. But people got insecurity issues, and they got piss poor conflict resolution skills to the point where you have a lot of unnecessary drama in a lifestyle. And do you when you sit back when you sit back and see all these beefs, does it deter you from going to events or parties? Because people be like, that's why I left the LS on the lifestyle. It's like, what makes you keep coming back regardless of the fuckery?
I don't pay no attention. I know what I'm in the lifestyle for. I'm not here. Y'all not my entertainment. If that's what y'all going through, that's what y'all going through. I'm not in the life. I'm not a lifestyler for y'all. I'm a lifestyler for me. So regardless if somebody get on a live and say, oh, such and such party was this, such and such party was that, or these guys listen, I don't care. I'm still gonna go. Yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna go.
What, were you a swinger before you got into polyamory?
Yes.
And tell people the difference, because swinging is not the same as polyamory. Can you please tell people the difference?
All right, the difference between a swinger is that a swinger is basically we have open relationship, we have open, intimate relationships. Put it like that. Mm-hmm. And for poly, it's more of our relationship is more personal. This is not a unicorn. And this is what I be trying to explain to people. It's a difference between a unicorn and a female that's in poly. It's a thin line, but it's a difference. So when you're a swinger, is that you becoming single or you have, you're a couple and y'all dealing with this intimacy on an open level.
It's just casual sex. It's just casual
right.
sex.
In the poly relationship is more of, you have some polys that's in the swingers, and then you have some poly that's not in the swing. Mm-hmm. That's not what they doing.
It's like poly could be swingers, but swingers can't be poly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they can.
No. Wait, let me rephrase that. Poly could swing, but swinging is not poly.
Yeah, swinging.
That's what I meant. Swinging is not poly, but poly could dwell into swinging. That's what I meant.
Right.
That's what I meant.
Like me and my two queens, we can come in there, and my queens let people know, yes, I'm here with my man, you know, and, you know, whatever our boundaries and restriction is. Just like in any relationship that has, you know, people that goes into this atmosphere, it's just a little bit more awareness from the man, because now I got twice as much as the work. I got to make sure both women is secure. I got to make sure they safe. I can't, you know, not focus on them. So I make sure they, you know, we got check-in times. Is you know, we need to put eyes on each other. And people think this poly stuff is easy. It's not.
because a lot of dudes have these grandiose ideas. Yo, I'm gonna get some pussy. My queen gonna bring in more people, more chicks into the fold, and it's like all that. You know, it's not easy. It's just like how people think porn is easy, but you gotta come on command. You have to stop and start. You gotta stay hard and get hard. You can't come quick. It's like people are looking from they outside looking in.
Right.
You know. So what are the stuff what is the biggest misconception of a polyamorous relationship that a lot of dudes don't realize?
One side. One side. If I'm man enough to ask my woman to consider another woman, then I want my queen to be woman enough to ask me to have another man. And that's where the poly relationships is so one-sided. And this is the stuff that I advocate. Like, nah, if he don't respect you, and guys is, you know, right now they mad at me because I had a live not too long ago, and I said, yo, if guys can't give you what you want, stop giving him what he wants. I said, because if you desire another boyfriend, go for it. If you desire another male in between y'all, go for it. Stop letting the man dictate on who's coming into this relationship, because when you say we're poly, that means it work both ways.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so that's the misconception a lot of these guys have. They like, I be hearing dudes, they be like, yeah, I'm gonna have two queens, and I slide right up on them. Yo, can one of your queens, you know, what's up? Can I get with one of your queens? And I heard a brother just flat out, he was like, nah, I ain't with that. I was like, really? What you mean you're not with that? He was like, nah, it's only girls in this poly. I'm like, but what if she want? He was like, nah, my woman only want women. Like, nah, you speaking for her. How you know? She fucking you, and you trying to tell me she only want women? Then what is you doing in the relationship?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I challenge these guys, like, nah, y'all dudes has been getting away with this for years. This is not that. These women got a mouth.
Do you think that women genuinely they just want one dude and not a bunch of dudes? Do you think that they genuinely want just one dude, and they don't have a problem? You don't think so? No. So you think they just going along to get along?
They going along because that's who's running the show.
You really think that?
I think this.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want to say, do you think that because you have a lot of chicks, they don't have a problem with being in a FMF, a female male female poly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to get your train of thought as far as that, because she may genuinely just want one dick, and not anybody else.
I didn't have sisters, and this is what I love about my sisters, because most of my education, my mentors is all women in this LS. Because my mentor when I came into LS, woman. My mentor in polyamory, woman. I only have one guy, one solid dude that I go to for advice on anything, and that's the brother Deuce Williams. And good brother.
Deuce is cool people.
Yes, good brother. That's the only, you know, guy that I say that I can go to other than my road dog Romero. But I really come to Deuce Williams for any type of things. Like, this brother I can randomly hit him, and this brother will answer me back as soon as he, you know, he can. And he'll tell me, guess what, bro? You can pull up. I'm going to the gym at this time. Come on, pull up and come hang out and talk. let's talk like men, because this phone stuff, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we're a little bit older, you know what I mean? So a lot of these brothers, they rely on these phones. I'm 45, you know what I mean? So
No, I didn't even know you was 45. I thought you was like in your early 30s.
nah, I'm 45. I'm 45. And a lot
okay.
of people rely on this phone. But I feel it's a lot of women that don't have voices in these poly relationships, because it's the stigmatic is, oh, you want that many people, or when we go to this lifestyle party, it's only a 3 dick minimum, and these women get all these lectures like, nah, who gonna want a woman, you know, after she been with this many, that many, and like, yo, homie, the same thing go for you. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'm just like, but I ran into some women that, you know, they love their king. They love their king. They like, listen, I have fun, a little dibble and everything like that, but I can't take on 2 kings. You know, and they'll break it down and they be like, nah, I got problems dealing with 1. You trying to arrange for me to have 2? Like, nah, I can't do that. My emotions is not going to do that, because I'm a very emotional person. And that's what a lot of our sisters is. They're very emotional, because when they come to these parties, they don't want to give up their integrity for security, but they want to make sure that they're secure with their integrity. You understand what I'm saying? So, go ahead, I'm listening.
Were you always poly? Like, since you were a teenager, you didn't have a problem with the chicks that you're dealing with other dudes, or you didn't have a poly mentality until you got older?
I think I was a poly, I'm gonna say, in my early 20s. And the only reason why I learned it is because I paid attention to my aunt. And I didn't really understand it. So I just kept asking questions until she got frustrated and really like, look at this book. I'm like, hell, I can't even pronounce this. What the hell is this? And when she started explaining it, because I was just, you know, breezing through it, and I liked the idea. I'm like, oh. And she told me, she was like, yes, you could do this, you could do that, you could have this girlfriend, this girlfriend, and your girlfriend might have it. She was like, yeah, that's all that is fine. She said, but you know how all that works? I said, well, honesty. She said, always when you approach anybody, straight off the bat, tell them who you are. Because when you get 2-3 months down the line and they start feeling and acting different, because feelings do change. I can meet you and tell you, hey, I'm lifestyling, I'm poly and everything today, and 3 months you getting this boyfriend dick. You know what I mean? And she'll change up. And you be like, well, I thought it was just us because you ain't had nobody. Like, hold up, boo. I told you I was poly, even though I was just dealing with you. I wanted you to share it. And that be the misconception. You know what I mean? So I make sure that I'm honest to anybody. I don't care if you vanilla.
So,
and I tell a lot of them, hands down.
So as a man in a poly, how do you vet your partners?
I sit there and I just conversate with them. I see if they open-minded. I explore their limits. I go through a process of just talking to them, building with them, and navigating to what I want it to be as far as my idea and her idea. Because regardless of what we think, we got to make this come together. So one of the sisters that I have lives in North Carolina right now, and she's a dope woman, and this is her first experience with poly, but she's been a unicorn for couples, and I had to explain the difference to her. And now that I think we're a year in now. You know what I mean? I think we're a year close. Matter of fact, next month will be a year. We're a year in. And I give her her time. I give her her place, her space. I give her credibility just to still maintaining throughout of everything in our communication. And that's how it is. And our vetting process was about longevity. I said, yo, and I told her, I said, listen, I don't want to be that couple that's a flash couple. I said, yo, I want to be that couple where people be like, yo, y'all still together? I see y'all here again.
Listen. I've seen people, you know what I'm saying, like after a session, they go to an LS party after a session, and then they in a whole relationship after checkout.
Oh,
They had a play session, and then at checkout, you see such and such in a you see such and such in a relationship with whatever. I'm like, yo, y'all don't even know each other like that.
I seen that. I seen that.
Yeah.
I seen that. And then a few months later, they break up.
Yeah, and they break up, and they want to shit on each other because they didn't get the time. They didn't get a chance to get to know each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They dickmatize and they pussy whip, but they don't get to know each other outside of the lust, of the infatuation stage. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, why are you surprised that your foundation is based on sex? You don't know this person from a can of paint. You know what I'm saying? You don't know this person proclivities, habits, likes, dislikes, certain nuances, certain, traits that you can deal with. You just on cloud nine. And that's why a lot of people say that relationships in the LS don't last, because they're not trying to get to know each other. They just, it's like they just want to be with somebody. And you ain't lying. When I see couples still going strong, I'm like, wow. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay, because motherfuckers are waiting for the chick to break up with her dude, so they can get back in the inbox. They like vultures. They just waiting.
Yeah, because it's like everybody laughing and like they waiting for everything to happen. I think it's bad because a lot of our sisters is very emotional in this LS, and a lot of us men. And I say us, I ain't gonna say a lot of the men, a lot of us prey on that emotional trait, you know what I mean? Because we men, we getting what we want. And through the course that we getting what we want, we wanna keep continue on bagging that or cuffing that. So we'll say what we gotta say and pass the number and these women, they out here, they, like I said, they want that security. They want to pull up with somebody that's, popular in the LS or known in the LS, or somebody that they feel that can protect them while they going to these parties. Like, okay. And then you got some sisters that just want somebody that, don't judge her, want to turn up with her, want to travel with her. It's like, I listen to these sisters. It's so many conditions why these sisters is in this LS and why they deal with guys in the LS and what they want and what they looking for. I just be amazed because some of us ain't none of that.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. A lot of chicks in the LS are bugged out. You know what I'm saying? They bugged out because you have some sisters who are cool mentally up here in the dome, but a lot of chicks are bugged out because they bring their baggage into the lifestyle, because to them the LS is a coping mechanism. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have chicks who come to parties to drink their pain away, fuck their pain away, party their pain away, or even fight their pain away. You feel me? So that's why you see a lot of conflict and piss poor conflict resolution skills, because a lot of people, listen, everybody has issues, but it becomes a problem when people don't know how to manage their traumas and triggers. And that's why you see a lot of shenanigans in the LS, because a lot of people see the lifestyle as a coping mechanism, and they see the lifestyle as a way for them to put them together on some Humpty Dumpty shit, instead of them understanding themselves and having the emotional intelligence and the emotional discipline to not lash out at the first sign of an understanding or disagreement. sometimes when I'm on my LS page is different. I shouldn't have to go on my vanilla page to seek some type of solace and to seek some type of peace. It should be the other way around. When I go to my vanilla page, my family page, it's peace. It's like normal. It's like serene. When I go to my wavy page, my lifestyle page, it's like chaotic. You know, it's like a fucking insane asylum. You know what I'm saying? So what is your views about women in the LS? The difference between women in the LS, or if there is a difference, because women in general are crazy, but there's a difference between being crazy and insane. So do you think there's a difference between LS women and vanilla women as far as their mentality and, you know, their emotional stability?
That's kind of tough. That's a tough one.
Yeah, but I mean, don't get it twisted. There's some crazy ass bras outside of the lifestyle. So I don't want to paint a picture that women in the lifestyle are crazy. But I'm just saying, for the most, I'm not even gonna say for the most part. I'm gonna say based on what I've seen, because it's not fair for women in a lifestyle to be painted a certain picture, and it's not fair to say women who are not in a lifestyle are perfect. But I do think that you have people who come into the lifestyle as a fix. You know what I'm saying? They use the lifestyle as a form of therapy when it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be recreation. It's not supposed to be a place for you to necessarily look for love and for a place to be fixed. You're supposed to come as a whole person, not, you know, as a fractured person, and you're looking for something to bring you back together. And then when you come across certain things, or when you come across certain people and certain conflicts and certain situations that may break you down, then I don't want to be in the LS anymore.
Right.
But it's like what you said. You're in the LS for you. You know your reasons why you're in the LS, but people are using it as therapy to where when they see certain signs of danger or fuckery, they back off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they're not doing it for themselves. If you have a lot of people, they end the lifestyle, but they're not of the lifestyle. Just like somebody may go to the church or a masjid. You know, so it's build on that.
I love what you're saying, because it definitely, you definitely breaking it down. You got all the right viewpoints on how people who's new coming into this lifestyle and they seeing, you know, and it be chaotic. And people have to realize, to be in this lifestyle, your mind have to be craving something that's missing in your regular life. Like I tell everybody is for the lifestyle, but the lifestyle ain't for everybody. You know what I mean? I encourage people like, yo, this is, you know, this is what you want to do, I got it. It's a bigger platform. It's just like a person that's being a rapper. Don't sit in your room and be a rapper. It's a bigger platform. Go out there. Go out there and be heard, be seen. You know what I mean? And then they'll jump back like, nah, man, I'm gonna just make my little tape right here. Like, all right, you know, but it's here. This is where it's at. And I try to explain to people that just because this is going on, don't make what's going on with these people a part of your lifestyle event. Mm-hmm. Don't let them rain on your party, your parade. You know what I mean? Because you didn't come there for them. You came here for the party. You came here to enjoy yourself. So just because these people acting like fools, or this one is emotional, here's another thing that I see, and it hurt me. It was a brother and a sister that was married. Matter of fact, they married, and she was so intoxicated she barely could stand up. But the brother, he's running around the party with other sisters, and he's not being attentive to his wife. You know what I mean? So I'm seeing other guys talking to her and trying to pick her, and I just had to step in like, nah, we ain't doing that, homie. He was like, what? I'm like, nah, you know who wife that is? Even though I didn't know the brother, I just like, you know who wife that is? He was like, what? Oh, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah, man, you gotta know who you picking up. He was like, well, all right, you know, she ain't saying nothing. She fatter than a muff. I'm like, how is you lusting over somebody that can barely stand? And when I seen the sister again, and I went down to the nude beach, you know, we always had that little nude beach festival.
At Gunnison.
Yeah, on National Swingers Day.
Yeah, the International Swingers Day.
And she remembered me. And me and her talked and everything, and you know, and I just asked her, I was like, yo, how you get that intoxicated? And she was like, yo, I was going through something before I got to the party, and you know, I just kept on drinking. I ain't want to fuck. I ain't want to do this. I ain't want to do that. I just wanted to drink. And I was like, sister, you could have stayed home because you put yourself in danger. First thing she said, oh, my husband was there. I said, your husband didn't care. I was like, yo, I warded off 3 different people. She was like, yeah, I know, because his girlfriend told me. And, you know, because her girlfriend was like, yo, you going to be right here? I'm like, yeah, I'm right here. I'm cool. I ain't going to let nothing happen, because I was cooling. You know what I mean? So her girlfriend observed me around her and, you know, telling dudes like, nah, she all right. She's sleeping off. And her girlfriend was like, yo, you the only guy that, you know, is telling other dudes. I'm like, yeah, you know, where I do that? He was like, yo, he in the room doing this. And it just hurted me. Like, I don't want to never be that guy. I don't want to be consumed that much that I forget my loved one. You know what I mean? And like, and the funny thing about that is, when I seen you in Jersey, my sister was there, my younger sister. She came up into the park. So when she came on the floor, and a couple of people recognized her, was like, yo, ain't you Qaudirr's sister?
Wait. I remember. Yeah, she's brown, she's like slender and brown skin.
Yeah, that's my little sister.
I remember. It's funny. It's coming back to me now. And I think either dudes did not want to mess with her because they was your sister, or you was right. Like, these motherfuckers better not touch my sister. I don't know if it was.
No. I never say that to brothers, because I tell my sister anytime, I'm like, listen, you go to any party with me, you're my responsibility, but you gonna do whatever you gonna do.
I remember, it's coming back to me now. Okay, I remember, cause I remember people was like, don't talk to her. That's Qaudirr's sister. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it wasn't anything against you, but it was like, that's Qaudirr. I'm not gonna talk. It was like some dudes was like, I'm not gonna talk to her because that's Qaudirr's sister. You know what I'm saying? So it was like she was off limits. You know
yeah, I was telling dudes, I was like, listen, spare me the details, man. They, you know, because dudes don't know how to approach you about that. Like, this is your sister. You know what I mean? So I was just like, you know, and it's going to be a couple of times, because my sister, she like to play close. So she'll go to the Jersey, New York, or Baltimore events when I go down there. And I have to tell dudes all the time, I'm like, man, I don't want to hear nothing about what my sister is doing or what you want to do with my sister, man. Whatever y'all agreement is that. They be like, nah, man, listen, I got a sister. I'll be like, listen, my sister, y'all do whatever y'all do. Y'all grown. My sister just knows she better not go to my room or be on the same floor as me.
So how's like having a sister in the LS and a lifestyle? Because you talk that shit now, but you know, we still human at the end of the day. We still gonna have that watchful eye to see if she's not fucking with a fuck boy. You know what I'm saying? So
I know what I do, and this is honestly, I just ask. You know, I talk to my sister, like, we'll walk past each other or we'll see each other in passing, and I talk to her real quick. And I just talked to her like, yo, what up? What you doing? She, you know, I'm talking to him and this, that, and third. And I look to see who he is. And, you know, sometimes I might not know the person, but I might ask somebody that do know him. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you know the boy, you know, and they'll tell me, oh, yeah, that's such and such. Yeah, he all right. Or, oh, that's such and such. Yo, you know, he a little shaky. So, and I tell my little sister, like, yo, you know, be careful when you dealing with that dude, whatever. and I'm straight up honest. And my sister do the same thing. It was a girl out there that was out there, and she just so happened to be at the party. And my sister was just like, yo, I don't care what you do, don't mess with that. And I'm like, why, what's up? She was like, nah, we ain't doing that. And I bet I catch you talking to her. But when I seen her, I'm like, damn.
Hey, so you never seen your sister get it in?
Nah, I'm gonna be true. I was in a room one time, and it was a playroom, and I didn't know my sister was in the playroom the same time I was in the playroom until I heard her girlfriend call her. You know what I mean? So when I heard that, and I was like, oh, I had to wipe my face, like, hold up, because I'm like, oh, what? You know what I mean? And it's, most of the playrooms be dark. So I'm like, oh. And I was like, this somebody just said my sister name? She like, oh. So I said it. I was like, yo, I called out my sister's name, and she was just like, who that? I was like, oh, hell no, I'm out of here. Wait. Was your sister in the LS before you or after you? She got involved after me.
So did you know she was in the LS?
I didn't never know. And the funny thing is, she's not really LS.
So she's LS friendly?
No, she's BDSM.
Oh, okay.
She's more into BDSM and kink, and gradually came over to the LS because most of the BDSM is at LS parties. Okay. And we ran into each other in Atlanta.
And you was like, "Oh shit, what you doing here?"
Yeah, that was my first remark. Like, yo, what's up? What the fuck is you doing here? She was like, "Oh, I'm down here with." I'm like, "This where you was going? That's why you ain't tell me." She was like, "I was telling you to mind your business." I was like, "Right, mind your business meaning you're not gonna be home. Why is you down here? Let me holler at you." And she just told me, like, this is who she was following, and this is the other guy. And so when she started breaking it down, and then she looked at me like, hold up, what are you doing down here? I said, oh, I'm down. I'm a gun ranger. You know what I mean? I'm slanging. You know what I mean?
I can only imagine them talks at the family dinner, you know what I'm saying? Or at the family gathering.
And the crazy part is I have no brothers. I have all sisters. I got 7 sisters.
Okay. Damn, so, that's a lot of feminine energy. So where do you get that? How do you balance that masculine energy?
As far as with my sisters, it's more of like it's me and it's 2 other ones that's younger than me. The sisters that you seen there at the party, and there's another one that's under her that's younger than me. The way I balanced it, it was just more of my mother. My mother balanced it. My mother made sure that I was all man. You know what I mean? Like when I picked up something that I wasn't supposed to pick up, she chastised me. I got to plan with things I wasn't supposed to be playing with, she chastised me. So I got a lot of that, that man stuff implemented from the queen because my mom wasn't having that. You know what I mean? Because she know that little boys that grow up around so many women have those tendencies, and my mom was just like, nah, you not you. You know what I mean? So I definitely salute my old earth because she definitely was a general when it came to leading this family. You know what I mean?
Well, but what you say?
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
No, it's crazy because I can't even imagine going in the playroom and seeing my sister get smashed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'd be like, whoa, what's
yeah, I didn't even see it. I just heard it. What?
Yeah, it was like, okay, you could do your thing, but not in my room and not in front of me. You know what I'm saying?
Even when we supposed to be going to the Swing Fest, and I think the lady Asia, she hit me up because she's from out of Texas, and my sister's with them. She's going with that group, And Asia was like, I was just made of aware that a particular young lady is your sister will be attending the event. I was like, that's my sister. So she sent the picture, she sent the whole screen Facebook. I was like, who told you that? She was like, no, I was just made aware of that. Is that going to be all right? I was like, yeah. She was like, have y'all attended events together? I said, no, we don't never go together. I was like, she always go with who she go with, and I go with who I go with, who I go by myself. I said, but we don't never go together. And she was asking me the same thing, like, is it going to be a problem? And, just that. I was like, nah, it's definitely not a problem.
So I know we're going back to the human side of it. Okay, a lot of people say that, they don't have a problem with a chick playing with another dude. And we can say that, we don't have insecurities, but was there ever a time where you had to manage your jealousy, or, you see your chick, she getting fucked the daylights out of her, you know what I'm saying? Was there ever a time that you had to check yourself? You caught feelings, but you had to check yourself. You're like, nah, like tell dudes how they could overcome that and get over that. Because a lot of dudes, just like how a lot of dudes want to be in poly, a lot of dudes love the idea of being swingers until they see their lady get slayed by another dude. And not only get slayed, she's enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's easy to be a soldier when there's no war. So it's easy to be a swinger when you're sexing every chick, but when it's time for your chick to get sex by another dude, then you can't catch it. It's like a shell shot. So how did you get over it? Wait, when was the first time you got that feeling? And how did you get over it? And how do you currently manage to get over it?
The first time, I'm gonna keep it 100. I was like, what the fuck? The first time, because it was a dude, and she, she told me straight up, she like, yo, I want to play with him, and just that and the third, and I seen him and everything, and I ain't really, pay it no mind. And like, I happened to I happened to go in there and go check on her. That was like my first hard check. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to check on her and make sure she was good. And like, she was the show of the party. You know what I mean? Like, motherfuckers was stopping and watching, and I'm like, I heard it before I got into the room. So when I actually seen who it was, I had to check it. I had to check it so fast, I left. You know what I mean? And this is why I still smoke cigarettes, because if they take away cigarettes, a lot of people be dead. So it messed me up. You know what I mean? So I didn't know how to feel, and I didn't know how to, think. So I smoked a cigarette, went back in the place, and they were still going at it. And the moans, the noise, it wasn't the physical act. It was just listening. Mm-hmm. And the listening got to me. So I was like, yo, I ain't playing for the rest of the night. I'm keeping it official. I ain't playing for the rest of the night. Nothing. I was on some other shit. Like, I was just cool. So when I got back, and me and her had a conversation, and I was just like, she just was like, baby, just be honest. Just be honest. And I just was like, all right, let's go. Let's step outside so I can be honest. She like, what? I'm like, nah. I was like, listen, I'd rather for us to walk and talk than for me to be isolated in this one space where as though the only thing I could do is just, look at you and just talk to you, face to face. So she was like, all right, she grabbed a coat and everything. I put my boots on, and I'm trying to prepare my mind on what the hell I'm going to say. And what I thought I was going to say to her didn't go that way. It didn't go that way. It was like, the conversation, I'm going to tell you straight up, the conversation was more of she shedding light on how she felt. I shed light on how I felt. And we walked. I think we stayed outside, and it was like I think we started walking like around 4. I think we stayed outside so long, motherfucking Dunkin' Donuts and all this shit was open. So we eating and talking, then we got to laughing and we got to joking. We stayed outside for like about 2.5 hours till we got back to the house. And I needed that walk. And I thanked her. I was like, yo, thank you. And I said, yo, I said, if this walk wasn't possible for us, I don't know where we would have been at. And, I shared that with her. And from that point on, I knew what I had to do. So what I do is, if she in the room and she in there playing, I go in there and check on her. I go make sure I don't focus on the actual, what's going on. I don't focus on listening. I go check, make sure who's hanging around the bed, who's getting too close. I'm on police mode. I'm on security mode. You know what I mean? My job is security. And then I start getting comfortable. So whereas though now I'm running up on her while she in the middle of that jump, and I'll be like, yo, baby, you all right? And I'm talking to her in her face. Baby, you all right? You good? Need something to drink? You know what I mean? And she like, let me know. Now I'm at the state where as though I can go, like I got cane. I went and got cane because my woman said, she was trying to talk to him, but they kept being interrupted. So I introduced myself to Kane. Man, I was talking for a minute and I was like, yo, can you give me a couple of minutes? I want you to meet my woman. And he was like, oh yeah, come on. And, I brought him and it was like, yo, here, this is my woman, introduced Kane. And I just was like, yo, y'all have fun, you know what I mean? And I left, you know what I mean? So now I'm that comfortable. It went from that to being, hey, I can be a facilitator to this shit.
it had to develop over time.
Right.
Like a character arc.
Right. It's not. You gotta keep testing yourself. Now I'm a stag. Now I can have my woman and I can just bring I set stages for my woman because some of them haven't had the experience where as though they man was comfortable with them having sex with 2 guys at one time. So now I'm so comfortable with as though I can be like, yo, Wavy, yo, man, listen, check this out. You're a cool dude, man. I want to bring you up to the room. My girl in here. Yo, we gonna party, my girl. That's how comfortable and cool I am with no judgment towards my woman. And a lot of dudes be like, yo, you bugging. She could go do that shit on somewhere else. I'm like, nah. What other setting in my view to give this to my woman to let her see that her man still love her unconditionally? You know what I mean? So I set that stage and I want to rock out and I want to show each and every woman that I'm with that I'm able to handle this. It's not gonna come overnight. I'm telling people straight from the door, that shit ain't coming overnight. You're gonna go through your trials and tribulations, but if you're in this to be a lifestyler and not a person just attending a lifestyle event, this is what you gotta go through. You know what I mean? This is.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, when Qaudirr says brothers and sisters, he's not talking about family members or blood brothers. Brother means man and sister means woman. I just want to say that for the slow motherfuckers who may be listening to this and they don't know the terminology. But anyway, I want, what do you mean by brother and sister? People, they got slow gases. But anyway, what Jewel, but we were talking about your real sister though. And but in general, when he say brothers and sisters, he was just talking about men and women in general. But so lead us out of here. What jewel would you give a newbie in the poly world and in the BDSM, in the poly world and the swingers world? It's like the floor is yours. You could go long as you can. What are some jewels that you would like to bestow upon newbies, male, female alike? It doesn't matter. Talk your shit.
I'm more going to say this to all the brothers that's getting into this lifestyle, because it's as they see it as a fuck fest or fuck party or excess unlimited pussy, whatever they looking at it as, it's not that. You got women that's in here with high quality, they got standards, they somebody's mother, they somebody's sister, somebody's wife. I'm telling you to take your time on dealing with each and every individual, because they all individuals. It's no woman is the same. There's no scenery is the same. It's not like you can't go in there with the same stroke game. Now, emotionally, you're gonna have to take your time. This is not something that you can do back to back. Now, if you get in here and you're single, you go in here, you have fun. But the first number one thing you need to do is be respectful. Even when you feel like the person don't deserve it. Be respectful. You know what I mean? A sister might tell you, hey, like, oh, you gotta go ask my man. And you might not like how she said it. Oh, I didn't hear a brother say, oh, I ain't asking him. And I didn't hear the sister tell him, well, shit, if you ain't man enough to ask him, then you're not ready. Fellas, if you're a newbie, be man enough to ask another man for what you want. Because when it's your turn to have a woman, they gonna be men enough to ask you about yours. So have fun while you're single in there and enjoy it. If you just signing up, you just getting on board, enjoy your time in the lifestyle while you're single. Because when you get in a relationship, the dynamics, the feelings, and everything is a whole lot different. It's a different dynamic. It's a different feeling. It's a different scenario. It's different. It's women that wouldn't want to touch you when you were single, but now that you got a woman, she's not gonna touch you. But yeah, thank you, Wavy. That was good. I'm glad we got a chance to clear that up, because it was never that. And like I said, like you said, sometimes we got to get out of our heads about certain things. Mm-hmm. And I think you just helped me just now. I need to get in contact with somebody because I was in my head about something with somebody. So I'm gonna thank you right now, and this ain't no fake shit. And I'm gonna just do the same thing that did to me. We just gonna talk. We're gonna honestly rap, because I respect that.
Yeah, that's king shit. That's goat shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's king shit. Man shit.
I definitely respect it. You know what I mean? And hey man, whenever you want me back on the show, let me know, bro. I'm here to support.
Enough respect. And on that note, this has been another episode of Swingers After Dark, and this is your host, Nasun, baby. Check out my website at www.nasunblaze.com. That's www.nahsunblaze.com, and check out my ebook, Fuck. Yes, you heard right, Fuck. F-U-C-K. It's on Nook, Kindle, iBooks, Google Play. Go get it. Shoot me an email at swingpodcast@gmail.com. That's swingpodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up with any questions or concerns that you may have. Rate, share, subscribe, and comment on this podcast. Dig. And on that note, until next time, peace.